Mucho eleganto. Mucho eleganto. All right, let's do a little. I've been doing drawings here, so let's do some drawings. Okay, let's do some drawings because I've been doing drawings. Let's do a little. I don't know if I. There we go. Just in case. I don't even know if I. Yeah. There we go. What's up, beautiful people of the Grams? This is your boy, Jose Trujillo, número uno. Mucho macho. Mucho eleganto. So I've been doing some little drawings here. I've done some little drawings and practices and whatnot. This stuff's smelly. Fine art fixative. Boom. Uno más, baby. Uno más. Hope you guys are doing great. Have you exercised the left with drawing? Oh, no. No, I don't. I've never done that, actually. I just don't do stuff that you know, unless I have to, you know, if I God forbid, if I ever had to use the left arm, then I would have to, but no, I don't. Just like that, easy money, mucho macho sketch. This sketch has all kinds of macho. Yeah, these are pretty easy money. I'm not gonna lie. I saw these ones at around $200, and so these are pretty. If when it comes down to easy money, these are way on top of the. You know, I'm able to do on a good day. I'll do like 200 of them. And I don't sell them all at once, but man, I sell them pretty fast. I can't lie about that. These are my little angels. Look at that little angel. See, I try not to think about it so much, because if you think about it a lot, you can't really do much. So what I do is that I apply fixative 2 times. One when I draw it, and then the next time when I package it, when I ship it out. Here's another little angel. Let's do another little angel. Look at that. You cannot be a Latino and not paint angels. They're very ingrained in the culture. Just saying, just putting it out there. $200 framed or just like that? No, just like that. Framed, they're about $600 a piece, depending on the frame. Sometimes more, sometimes $800 a piece framed. Because then you have to add matting and a nice double mat and a frame. It turns out to about $600 to $800 a piece. But just the paper, $200. We have to pull up the price. We have to turn them into $300 now because I've been selling them like that for a couple of years now, at $200 a pop. But you know what they say, right? It took me 20 years. When they say how long did it take you? 20 years and 25 seconds, 20 years and 30 seconds. No? A lifetime to become an artist, right? Yeah. Let me show you what this one looks like. Do you ever paint with oil sticks? All the time. All the time. I do a lot of oil sticks too. So when sometimes my hand hurts from painting, because I do this a lot, and so it ends up like, just getting tired and I have to rest it a couple of days. I do stuff like this. I move on to my first love was drawing. It wasn't really painting, it was drawing. So I go back to my first love. To mi corazzone, mi cariño. Squidward. Squidward. Hey, Squidward. Hey, Squidward. I love the way Squidward moves when he dances. Do you name your paintings? I do. I love that. You're a beast. Beast mode. Just trying to keep it a little fun, you know? Look. Out to go. Let's do some florals. If you think about it too much, you won't do anything. And this is something that I've been sometimes you have to break it a little bit to get the juice. Sometimes some of these vines don't have that much juice, so you have to, you know, change the vine. What's happening, Jay? Okay, so this vine doesn't have that much juice, but it's okay. So I sent a few of them to IKEA. I don't know which ones are going to be accepted. I know I got a couple accepted, a couple of watercolors. But it seems like this February, I think we're releasing. IKEA is releasing some of my drawings, some of my watercolors. But I'm hoping that they release some of these drawings, some of these charcoal ones, because I really love them. And so it'd be really nice. You know, when they release prints, they release them framed and all of that, so they look really cool. So I'm hoping they're gonna do a really good job framing. Yeah, paper is a lot of fun. Okay, there we go. This one has a lot of juice. So I like it when it has a lot of juice because it's like using a marker. There we go. What's happening, Bill? Yeah, you gotta do it. You gotta do it. You gotta expand on the stuff, you know. I feel like I'm getting high with this thing, man. What are you drawing with? Just the vine charcoal. It's just the vine charcoal. What's happening, hermano? just a little vine charcoal. So I go. Let's see if you guys can see it. This is intuitive drawing, my friends. So you can see it right here. I like this whole idea. I take some ideas, some biblical ideas, I guess, but I like the whole idea of painting philosophers and prophets and crazy people too, right in there. Angels, philosophers, prophets, street philosophers. What fixative do I recommend? Well, this is the one that I use. It's Krylon Fine Art Fixative. But I will say, after a while, it's so you start seeing blurry. No, not so much, but it does smell. It does have a smell. Put on a fan? Yeah, probably. I'm in a studio here, so the air naturally goes out that way. Yeah, that would probably be the better. Can you smell it a lot, Marcel? No?
Not anymore, just like when you first spray it.
When I first sprayed it, huh? Yeah. Is that watercolor paper? No, this is charcoal paper. Sometimes I do use watercolor paper, but right now it's just charcoal paper. This is basically me just doing a little demo here, guys. I do quite a bit of this ones throughout the day. As I said before, when there shouldn't be a downtime for an artist unless you really need one. There's always something to do. Whether you're marketing or you're painting or you're drawing, there's always something to do. If that makes any sense. Boom, baby. Jose Trujillo, world's greatest living artist. Ah, take that and stuff. Yeah. So drawing is like extremely important for painting. Those of you who haven't figured that part out yet. And so it's not just about drawing like well, it's about drawing fast. It's about drawing fast. And because the speed brings out the intuitiveness. It's a little difficult to be intuitive when you're being very slow, because you're second guessing everything. So I have a little saying. I like to do 100 paintings a day to see if I can nail one, you know. And sometimes I do, sometimes I don't, but they all sell. It is so true. What I mean by nailing one is something that I like, right? Sometimes I paint something or I draw something that I like, but everything that I paint somebody likes out there. So the trick is to keep painting. The trick is to keep drawing, because, you know, it's just the way it is. There you go. Hello, Jose. How are you? I've noticed that I paint way looser and generally more productive if I have a lot of materials available. So my conclusion, get yourself a lot of canvases and mix a lot. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if it's not in front of you, you know, it's like when I was growing up, I have a brother who got me into reading. He's an avid reader, and he used to tell me, like, keep books around you. You know, keep books around you. If you don't have them around you, you're not going to read them. You know, so it's very important to keep around you whatever you're going to use. So it's very it makes a lot of sense. Keep materials. If you want to be a full-time artist, keep materials around you. If you want to create a lot of art, keep a lot of materials around you. Very cool. Tony Taylor says, sorry, I read that wrong. Tony Taylor says, it's not how many home runs you make, it's how many times you hit the bat. Yeah, that's all I focus on. I just focus on hitting the bat. Did I hit the bat today? Okay, cool. And then every now and then you make a home run. And yeah, once you make a home run, you get used to it and you want to make more home runs. But it usually takes about 100 sometimes even 200 bats before you strike something out. You make a home run, or you might strike out. Who knows? But you won't find out unless you. You won't find out unless you. Unless you do it. And then you kind of have to do stuff in a different way, like sometimes people are like, it reminds me of construction. I remember when I used to work construction or remodeling, where people are like, oh, the floor is not level. Well, work with what you got, work with what you got. It's the same way when you're drawing. Oh man, the wing didn't fit here. It's not supposed to, it's not supposed to. It's not, you have to take it as a whole, not piece by piece. It's art. You have to make it. You have to make it work. Do you ever spend more time on some painting, like doing it more detail and such? I used to, not anymore. There's no point in it. I used to. So there's a difference between being productive and prolific and being sloppy. There's a very big difference. Sloppiness comes out of, I need to do it fast. I need to do it fast. That's sloppiness. Productive and prolific means I can do many very quick without having the necessity to do them fast. If that makes any sense. So being productive and prolific is doing fast without the stress. And when you put the stress in there, you get sloppy. The stress makes you sloppy. And when you get sloppy, people don't really buy that work. People don't really care about it. I've proven this over and over in my career. People just don't care about sloppy work. But they love when an artist is prolific. Some people, not everybody, but the ones that buy from you, they love when you're prolific. Because they know that you put in the time. It's like if it takes me 30 seconds to do something like this, it took me 20 years and 30 seconds. It didn't really take me 30 seconds. It took me 20 years to learn how to do it in 30 seconds. Figurative drawing is meant to show motion in the now. Jose, you hit the target. Yeah. It's exactly that. It's about capturing something that's alive, that it's moving. It's moving. It's alive. Yeah, they are definitely another part. This was my first love, sketching, drawing. It's really my first love. Then I got into painting, but I did that since I was a little kid. I think all kids did it, but I thought I was Picasso when I was a kid, I believe the thing. Oh, baby.
Yeah.
You're supposed to say yeah.
Yeah. I like whatever smell I'm smelling. It's the fix it, no?
It's the fixative.
Fixative. I like that smell. This.
Boom. Just like that. Yeah. Uno más. Let's do uno más. Sushi? That was alright.
No, not so much.
No, that was alright. I can do it. Let's see. My friends started questioning my productivity. I'm doing painting a day. People are very tied to the idea of painting a piece takes a lot of time. Yeah, this is a very old idea. Actually, that idea has been debunked since it's been debunked for about 100 years now. Willem de Kooning, Picasso, Matisse. I mean, you name any of the big wigs, they debunked that idea already. Depending on the work, a painting a day is possible. Well, it just depends on the type of work that you're doing. If you're doing very derivative work in terms of realism, it might take you a day, it might take you a week. I think there's no right or wrong answer. Being productive is one thing. Being prolific is another one. You can be very productive, meaning that you can put a lot of hours in your work, and all of a sudden at the end of the week or at the end of the month, you come up with a really great painting that you put in so many hours. You put 60 hours or 70 hours a week or whatever, and you come up with an amazing painting. And if you're doing hyperrealism or anything like that, but if you're doing the gig that I'm doing, you can also be prolific. You don't just have to be productive. So I chose to do both. I chose to be productive. I put in a lot of hours, and I create a lot of work. So I'm choosing both. There is no right or wrong answer. As a matter of fact, a lot of people get rubbed the wrong way for this type of work, and a lot of people love it. And so I just never think that there is a right or wrong way of doing it. It's just whatever your little heart desires. I like this. I like doing artwork this way because it gives me the chance to explore. And I naturally love exploring, just exploring new subject matter, new things. Jay says, I painted a piece in 15 minutes and made a pretty time and on the same day. It took me 20 years to make that happen. Yeah, it takes time. Not the right way, just my way. Or do it my way and stuff. Yeah, I love that. Yeah.
All right. People don't realize, it's too, how, it's, a lot of it is, mental limitations, too.
Yeah.
I remember there was a time when you were like, Lisette, I can't paint figures. Figures take me so long.
Well, because I was used to painting realism.
And then you were like, Lisette, I can only make 5 paintings in a day. There's no way I could do more.
Yeah.
And then, as, you broke through your own
limitations, yeah. You break in your own noise, and you break through also by doing, no?
Yeah. And you too were I think all artists feel fear about their work being judged, and their productivity being judged.
Yeah. Well, it's a real thing.
Because there's shame around work or shame around you know what I mean? Because we've been conditioned to think that certain skill sets shouldn't require work.
Right.
The arts aren't work.
Right.
It's, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm totally there. So I'm going to get some paper, and I'm gonna do some oil pastels in a little bit. So if you guys want to hang out with me, I'll show you what pretty much what I was doing here, but in oil pastels and line, figure drawing, that type of stuff. I like to do that from time to time, change it up a bit. I'm also going to do some watercolors. I don't think I'm doing oils today. My arm is pretty tired for that. It takes a lot of energy to do oils. It's a lot of pushing. It's a lot of. Sometimes I rest my arm and do something else and get back to oils. Yeah, pretty much that. The good thing is that I got my super protein right here. Boom, baby, super protein. Hey, look at that! Look at that. Pike's Place, baby. Steamed. It's gotta be steamed. Steamed half and half. I love seeing your different medium works. Yeah, I mean, there's all sorts of different things that, not everything sells the same way. What brings me the most cash, let's put it that way, for those of you who are here to learn how to sell, work, or market the way that I do, what brings me the most cash is still oil painting. Oil paint brings me the most cash. But when I sell one of these puppies, right, the cash is faster and bigger when I sell any of these ones. It just depends, So I try to stay in movement of different things. Which one did you get me last time?
The steak one.
There's
chicken. There's.
Give me a chicken one, like the one you got me, but chicken. Because the steak I felt it was good, but it was a little too heavy.
Okay.
So there it is, my friends. I'm gonna kick it. We're gonna pull. Let me show you what. Look at that. We organized this space. We organized that space for the canvases next to where I paint. Ooh la la, baby. But what I'm gonna do is put some works on paper and show you guys what I'm gonna be doing. Our drawings mostly Etsy. Drawings are mostly I sell a lot of them on eBay. I sell them everywhere. It's just that I don't focus. Let me turn around so you guys can see my beautiful face. Because I don't sell them in a way that I do the auctions. They're not as repetitive that way. I do sell a lot of them. I sell probably a dozen a day, but I sell more. I sell more oils. They're just not repetitive that way. I sell a dozen a day, not in a single place. I sell about a dozen a day in different places. So I mean, do the numbers. It's like $200 a pop of works on paper. It's around $200 a pop. And so some of them are $600 a pop, some of them are $200. The average is about $200. And so I do sell them, but I sell them in different channels. Be it Etsy, Cherish, eBay. I might sell 2 on eBay. I might sell 1 on Etsy. I might sell a couple on my email list, and on and on and on. And so average about 12, a dozen a day. Sometimes I get super lucky. I'll sell like 30 of them in a single day. But it's different stuff. It's different stuff. So you combine that. If you're an artist and you're hearing what I'm saying, you're trying to make a living doing this. If you combine that with auctions on eBay, I don't know, 15, 20 auctions on eBay a day, right? And a dozen works on paper, and then 5, 6 commissions a day, and it keeps adding up. And this is the stuff that I teach. It keeps adding up. 2 coaching calls, $300 a coaching call, that kind of stuff. And this is the stuff that I try to tell artists, like look for different ways. Once you have one going on, it's very important to start looking for different things. A lot of people don't have one going on, and I remember that. If you don't have one going on, what we're doing is we're poking everywhere to see what gives, and that's okay too. I don't think there's a right or wrong way. What worked for me is getting one working. Do you sell on your website too? I do, but what I sell on my website a lot are commissions. People contact me through my website for commissions. And then, and so that type of deal. Jim says, so by that sounds, don't out me, Jim. Call that diversifying your portfolio. Yeah, and and it's not necessarily diversifying in the traditional sense like art. It's not necessarily diversifying. So, for example, in art, when you diversify, it's people call it diversifying, and I think you're right. It would be diversifying your portfolio, but in other industries, when people say, "I'm going to diversify," what they usually mean is, I sell real estate, and then I'm going to go and open a juice bar, and then I'm going to go and do side jobs on the weekends, and I'm going to invest on Bitcoin, and that's usually what I think when most people talk about diversifying. What I'm talking about is diversifying the mediums, using pretty much the same product or products that are symbiotic to what you do. They have to be symbiotic, because I can't do this and then go work on the weekends on some other industry that has nothing to do with what I do. It's just not going to work. It's very difficult. And so what I do is I try to find out what else can I do that is in line, that is symbiotic to what I'm doing here. So the stuff that I'm learning about selling, can I teach some of this stuff? So I make workshops. Can I teach directly to someone so I can do coaching calls? So workshop is one thing. A coaching call is another thing. A coaching call is when someone has my full attention and I sit there and I work it out with you to create a plan. And to create a plan for your career or whatever you're working on. A workshop is completely different. A workshop is I'm talking to everybody. A workshop is me coming up with something that I learned that works for me, and then I put it on video, and then everybody gets to watch it. Not everybody, but whoever buys the workshop or signs up to the workshop gets to watch it. But I'm not doing it specifically for someone. A coaching call is me doing it specifically for someone. So let's say that you're like, you know what, Jose, this is what I do. This is how much I make. I really want to be able to find out different avenues. How much more can I make selling artwork, or what other places can I get into, and that type of deal. So now that's a coaching call. That's me figuring out, okay, you make X amount, blah, blah, blah. Let's put some numbers together. Let's put this thing together. Let's see what we can work out. And we make a plan, It's a coaching call. And then there's other things that I'm working on right now too. I want to work on a coaching. It's not necessarily just a coaching call, but a coaching program where accountability is set in place. So now I'm going to be bugging you. I'm going to be kicking your ass every weekend. Once a week, I'm going to pick up the phone and we're going to have a time on the phone to follow up. Hey, did you do A, B, and C? What did you do with our plan? Were you able to fulfill this? Did you meet quota? Blah, blah, blah. If not, okay, that sets you back. Or we're moving forward. And so accountability is the single most important thing in trying to do anything. You need a video on Trujillo? Yeah, I put this for my son right here because want to kick it here. And then I put this also here for him. He likes to ride his skateboard. So I made sure he had the hoop and that. It's a family place here, my studio. Make it family friendly. Let's see. Do you ever feel like you're maxing things out? All the time. When you max things out, what ends up happening is that you are solopreneurs have this problem. I'm pretty much a solopreneur. I have 2 assistants and my wife. My wife is not an assistant. My wife is another me. Like, she hustles the shit out of things here. She's working all the time, working on everything, with me. Not on art, but everything that has to do with the studio, especially accounts. Right? We're always on top of the accounts. But the solopreneur gets their ass kicked. I get my ass kicked all the time because I only have 24 hours, right? And so if I want to leverage something, or if I want to be able to advance in an area, it's either spending time and or money. And sometimes even if you spend both of those, it takes time. You have to be very patient. So, for example, people are like, "Oh, how did you make Etsy work?" It took me 2 years to make Etsy work. 2 years, and paying someone to upload listings on Etsy for me, because if I do it, then I can't paint, right? Or you know what I mean? Like I have to. You're splitting yourself, so you have to demote yourself and put someone else in there. If you are a solopreneur, I know what your problem is. It's everybody's problems. It's the same problem. If you are a real estate agent and you're trying to grow, you shouldn't be doing open houses. You should be paying someone to send out to open houses, or you shouldn't be sourcing, or et cetera, et cetera. You should have an assistant to help you with a lot of the shit that you shouldn't be doing. But in the beginning, you have to do it yourself. You have to do it yourself. Let's see. Vivek says, I always feel like I'm not doing enough. Yeah, it's just a feeling. Don't listen to that, though. Don't listen to that. It's just a feeling, because, look, I'll promise you, if you're running ads, let's say that you're running ads on Instagram, I don't care if you're spending $1,000 a day. It's not going to happen overnight. It's just not going to happen overnight. You're going to have to spend $1,000 a day for like 3 years in a row. It's just not going to happen overnight. If you're, and that might not even cut it by itself. You're still going to need, quote unquote manpower, right? You still need a sweat equity, right? You still need someone to be using their hands and picking up the phone and tagging and uploading work and creating lives like this. Nobody pays me to do this lives, but if I don't do them, they don't get done, and they're important to do. Lives like this, they're important to do. And so I always feel like I don't do enough. Always. This is the quintessential problem of anyone in business. You never feel like you do enough, even though you're doing enough and you're doing a lot, but it never feels that way. A huge problem that I had to face was learning how to rest. I didn't know how to rest. I still work 6 days a week, sometimes 7. It's hard for me to unplug sometimes, and I had to teach myself, because it's important. Otherwise, you start experiencing not burnout. People call it burnout. Burnout, I think it's emotional. You start experiencing fatigue in certain areas, and I've experienced that. I've experienced fatigue in painting or marketing or whatever, and I didn't know what it was. I used to think I was just upset. I would show up upset. Everything bothered me, and I couldn't put it together. I'm a very hardworking person, and so I always was like, what the hell's going on? Why do I feel this way? And then, I wasn't being honest with myself that I was tired, that I needed to go rest. And sometimes you do need to do that and learn how to do it. If you don't, some people don't need to learn how to do that. Some people need to learn how to hustle. But if you are a person that naturally hustles, or you've gotten in that mode, then you have to learn how to rest. You need both. You can't just hustle. It's not going to work. You can't just spend your way through it either. It's not going to work. It's a multitude of things. One of my mentors used to call it a cake mix. It's a cake mix. It's a multitude. You need some eggs. You need some flour. You need some sugar. You even need some salt in there. It's a multitude of things. And so what I was saying yesterday is that everybody out there that I've coached, just about everybody, maybe 1 or 2 people that have a good grip on it, but most artists that I've coached, they're looking for a silver bullet. Like, what is it? Is it works on paper? Is it canvas? Is it abstracts? Is it, and what platform? And so they're looking for a silver bullet. And there is no silver bullet. You should be creating artwork and showing it to everybody you can. You should be showing it to 1,000 different in 1,000 different places. And if it's not working, then you should go back to the first one. Because I know artists who show their work in all kinds of places. They hustle, but they haven't dialed in yet. What I mean by this is that they haven't created something that resonates with people. That is a problem, though. Okay, I need to point that out. That is a problem. Something that resonates with people, that if people are not liking, commenting on your stuff, you still haven't dialed it in. Especially people don't buy it. You still haven't dialed it in. You need to dial that in. That needs to be dialed in. And that usually has to do with 90% of it, probably more, has to do with stress. People creating artwork in a stressful manner, trying to get to the marketplace, trying to rush things. And so they never really put quality in the work. And I see that with people that I've coached. What do you spend on advertising a day? Just a few $100 altogether. Just a few $100. I'm not in the thousands yet. Marcella says that's so right on. We just need to do the work. Yeah, you're never going to feel like everything's right. If you, like I said, if you spend $1,000 on advertising, you're going to think, I need to spend 2,000 because it's not enough. If you do one painting, you're going to be like, oh, I need to do another painting. It might not be doing another painting what you need. It might be going and talking to someone else. It might be starting an email list. It might be, I used to call it farming. Let me see if I have a, so I'm going to give you a gift. Okay? The gift of my presence. I'm just joking, guys. The gift of my presence. My beautiful presence. Look at fucking handsome. Of course. So let me give you a gift for those of you who have been strong enough to kick it here with me. I know some of you left. So those of you left, you either don't care about this or you just don't believe me. In which case it's fine. But those of you who are here, I'm going to share something with you. There we go. So this is what a lot of artists do. I would say most artists do this. Okay, most of you out there are doing this shit. Okay, eBay. Let's say, right, you're doing some eBay stuff. You go there and then you put your stuff there. Call it Etsy if you want to. Okay? You go and you put stuff in there. Most people are doing this. They're doing one thing. 1, 2, or 3 things. And so they find out that they get some money out of this. And automatically what they try to do is, I'm going to do this as much as possible. And so they do it. And it only gives you so much. And then so you sit there and scratch your head and you're like, how do I make this thing work? How do I make this thing work more? And so let's say you've dialed it in already. People are giving you some money. By the way, that's dialing in. People are giving you some money and you feel like if you just do a little bit more. But let's say you don't have enough time. I don't know, you work, you have an 8 to 5 or whatever. You only have a few hours to work on this. You have a family. You take care of your family and on and on and on. And so what most of you do is you keep hitting the same wall. Okay? You made it to a class today. Hell yeah. So you keep hitting the same wall and you can't break it. And let's say that you're getting paid, I don't know, let's say that you're getting $300 a day on your eBay shop or your personal shop or whatever. And you're like, man, I need to break through. Let's say you're getting $100. It doesn't matter what the number is, but you're getting something. And you're like, I need to break through. And you keep figuring out how to break through. What most of you do is you keep ramming yourself into the same wall. Okay? You keep ramming yourself into the same wall. What I say is, stop doing that. This is what I say. Okay? This took me years to understand. Stop doing that. Go and open a fucking Etsy shop and dial it in. It doesn't have to be like, oh my God, like I make thousands and thousands. No, just dial it in. What I mean by this is make sure that it starts to work a little bit. It might just give you $50 a day. It might give you $100 a week. It doesn't matter. Keep doing it. Don't try to figure it out. Okay? Don't try to scale them if you keep hitting the same wall. Go somewhere else. Doesn't mean stop doing it. Keep doing it, but don't try to scale it if you hit a wall. And then get yourself an email list. Go dial that in. Go to Facebook fan pages. Something that I've been talking about. Vivek has been doing it. Go check out what Vivek is doing. Those of you who don't know here, Vivek is an artist and he's been doing some of that Facebook fan pages. I was talking about it and I've been telling people for a while, go do that. Go participate in the fan pages. You're not going to dial them in to the point where it's going to start vomiting money at you guys. It's just, you're going to get some out of that. You're going to get some out of this. You're going to get some out of that. You might get lucky and shit. You might get a lot, out of any of them. You might get a lot. You might get a lot. And that's good. But don't get stuck. Keep moving. Most people get stuck. You see, you do some hours this, you do 1 hour this, or 30 minutes, you do 30 minutes this, you do another 30 minutes that, then move on to the next one. This, I have a class on this. I have an entire class on this thing, a workshop, because I know how valuable this thing is. I'm putting it out there right now. I'm giving it to you guys, but Vivek says this is gold for artists. Thank you. Yeah, it's because most people do this shit. That it starts working, and then let's say that this thing starts working for you, Vivek, and then you're like, I'm gonna spend all day there. Well, essentially, what happens is you're drawing up whatever resources it is. The resources might be your time. It might be the amount of people that are watching. It might be that you're going to tire them out. It might be that you're going to have to go seek new fan pages. And so when most of us, we get excited and we burn them out. We get excited about this. Let's say that you start getting an email list and you're running an ad for like $30 a day or $50 a day, an ad, let's say, or even $10 a day, whatever it is, whatever your budget allows. Let's say that you're running an ad to get an email list growth, and all of a sudden you start getting sales, and then your mind goes to, oh my God, but if I could run a $500 ad a day. And that's a beautiful thing to think, that's progress. But most people do that. Most people start thinking, how can I scale this thing? Oh my God. And so what happens is you start drawing it out. You start drawing your even your emotional resources. You start driving them out rather than allowing this to grow naturally. Yes, be a little aggressive with it, or be a lot aggressive with it, but don't forget all the other avenues. Okay, and so what I've done is like, okay, now I'm going to start coaching this thing. Now I'm going to start selling in other platforms. Now I'm going to go and I'm going to work with other artists who have email lists. Also, artists who don't do what I do. They're artists that we're not competing with each other. They're not doing still lives and landscapes and birds like me. And so I go and I work with them something out. We share our audiences. And so they get some of my audience, I get some of their audience, and we're both happy because we're not competing with each other. And so I keep looking for new stuff. And then some of them only give me a little bit. Some of them give me a shit lot, And so, but I keep moving. Okay? My art mentor calls this the wheel. Very nice. Love that. Got any pieces in museum collections? I don't think so. Not that I'm aware of. And so when do you do this? I've seen artists who do it right away. I've seen artists who do this right away, and it doesn't work. And they're still like, man, I haven't broken through. So I have to like scold them and be like, dude, stop trying to play big artists. Go to one and dial it in. Go to one. Put all of your energy in one and then make it work. I'm not saying don't put all of your energy and make it work. I'm saying once it starts working and then now you want to stretch it and scale it, right? And you find difficulty, go to another one and lean in. You see what I mean? I hope people get what I'm talking about here. Haley Rose says, can you repost this as a reference for late? Yeah, absolutely. You can also, let me screen grab it. For those of you who, you guys can screen grab it and, I don't know, share it with each other. This shit right here saved my ass as an artist. What do you think about selling through IG starting out? Yeah, sell. I mean, sell anywhere. Absolutely, absolutely, Haley. Sell anywhere you can. It doesn't look, guys. It doesn't matter where you're selling as long as it's working. Once it's working, the natural thing that artists are going to try to do is how can I scale it? We all pretty much work that way. Hey, if I'm getting some money out of eBay when I first started, my next question was, dude, how can I get more? How can I get more? I remember I started getting about $300 a day. How can I make $600 a day on eBay? You know, and then it got to the point where like I need to start getting $6,000 a day. How can I do that? And so the scaling part, we always want to scale. We always want to stretch. This is it's just the game. People like winning. You know, we like it. The thing is that sometimes you start hitting walls, and those walls are very difficult. And what we do is that we deplete all of our energy trying to stretch it. And what I found out is go to another one. You know, don't stop doing it, but then that way you're not stressed right here. It means that you still do it to a point where you're getting paid, but you're not stressing over it. You know, just don't stress. And then as you keep moving, you're going to find, because you're more relaxed when you're moving, and then some of these things start giving you income, you're more relaxed. You're more relaxed because now all you got to do is show up. You don't have to strain yourself in any given one. All you got to do is just show up. So this is what I do. I show up on Etsy. I show up on Cherish. I show up on Saatchi Art. I show up on Instagram. I'm constantly selling work on Instagram, but I don't feel stressed. I don't feel like I'm stretching myself like, oh my God. There was a point where I was like, oh my God, if I just spend more and if I hire another person and on and on and on, I have to snap out of it because I know that's where most of us fall. And it's like, no, dude, that'll happen. Yes, I would like to spend $1,000, $2,000 a day on Instagram. That'll happen. But while I get there, while I have the means to do that, I'm going to move on to Etsy. And then I'm going to move on to an email list. And I'm going to fatten my email list. I'm going to go to Vivek. I'm going to go to Facebook fan pages. And I'm going to engage there. And I'm gonna go to different places and engage there. And I'm gonna engage to a certain point where I make them work, not where I make them the only thing I have. And the trick to this is to spend small amount of time on each one. I'm basically handing over, guys, one of my workshops on time. Okay, on time here, time and productivity. Is Saatchi Art your favorite platform? Again, no, it's not my favorite platform. None of them are my favorite platform. They're all great. They all pay me. They all work. eBay is the one that I've been most engaged, but it doesn't mean it's my favorite. It's the one that I've been most engaged because I've done this the longest. Be like water. I love that. Yeah. Do you believe in keeping the spokes equal? No. You can't. There's no way. There's no way because they can't. Like I can't keep the spokes equal because what if the email list is paying me, I don't know, let's say that it's paying me $1,000 a day, right? My email list. But what if eBay is paying me $6,000 a day? I can't give them the same time. You know, I got to give this more time. Or what if the Facebook fan pages are not paying me anything, but they're bringing in new buyers to my site, or sign up to my email list? I can't give them the same time of something that is paying me $1,000. It's irrational. I can't do that. So you give it what it's, you know, you give it what it has. So for example, eBay is something that I spend, and it's not just me. It's something that takes 3 of us in my studio, 3 of us to fulfill eBay, okay? And I spend about 8 to 10 hours a day on eBay alone, okay? On eBay alone. I can't do that on Facebook fan pages. I would fucking starve. Like, no, I only get a couple of customers here and there. And so on the fan pages, right? And so what I do is I try to keep it to a minimum of about 10 to 15 minutes, tops. And I'm already looking for who to do that for me. Someone that's going to leverage that. And so no, the spokes cannot be the same. But what is important is to keep moving. And you can have 1,000 different spokes. You can have whatever. It doesn't matter. But they should be working. If they're not working, there's no point in having 1,000. It's better to have 2. You know, it's better to have a little Mercedes-Benz spoke. Just have 3 of them. Peace and love, baby. It's better to have 3 of them that actually work than having. I know artists and I've coached artists that have a bunch of different stuff and they're always, I'm on Pinterest, but none of them are paying. And I'm like, dude, stop fucking with it. Get one that pays you. And when that starts paying you, move on to another one that starts paying you. If that makes any sense. I've talked about this a lot, and I hope that's clear, and I hope that helps people, because again, I hate to see artists that are trying to be super productive and they're trying to be everywhere and nothing's paying, and I'm like, dude, no, like get and lean into a place that actually squeeze out some money for you, and then move on to the next one. Once that starts doing that, you want to move on to the next one when you start feeling like, oh man, I want to squeeze more, but I can't. It won't squeeze more. Oh, okay, then it's time to move to the next one. Because it doesn't mean it's not going to squeeze more. It means it's not going to squeeze more right now. So stop fucking with it and move to the next one. I talk like this, guys, so don't get offended for those of you who are like, oh my God, the F word. All right. Hope that this was helpful, my friends. Take care. Let me show you my beautiful face because I'm freaking handsome. Boom. All right. I'll leave you with that. The name is Jose Trujillo. I'm an artist. And hope this was helpful and get you guys going. All right. Take care.